Hello everybody and welcome to the Midgy1 YouTube channel. Today we're going to show you an awesome game featuring some defensive bomber action, mirror match madness and actually useful city walls.
My name is Rats and today I'm joined by Maradon and we are excited to show you this awesome game. Let's get started. This matchup between SunflowerInDeramland and Seniorevanso was from the recent POLYBASH tournament where you could choose one of the three tribes, Bade, Kiku or Elyrion, and both these players chose to go with Elyrion. We have SunflowerInDeramland on the pink and we have Seniorevanso on the green Elyrion. Pink is host here with the lighthouse and Seniorevanso on the green, starting with a fairly decent spawn as well, some ruins, and yes, let's get right into it.
Alright, you can see some nice poly pushes from both players here. The good stuff.
What I like to
already finds another village. Oh, they both do.
What I think is interesting here is if you see how they played these openings, they both poly push towards the village, but Seniorevanso on the green Elyrion also trained the warrior, and therefore they actually delayed their city claim here by one turn. The warrior going around, already shaping the explorer for the future, and not taking the city, because if you want to take forestry before you claim the first city, and train another unit like he did, then you need to delay your city claim here, and that's what they did.
Yeah, because you just don't have enough stars.
Exactly.
That's an interesting...
You see, only 2 units trained and forestry claimed, with like some nice spots already. And here we have the same, but 1 turn delayed. Already uncovering the ruin.
This is gonna be an interesting fight over that ruin. Yeah, we can already see some...
Yep.
That's a clear case for green Elyrion. Right, pink has upgraded their capital already.
Yeah, they took the lighthouse and already upgraded the capital. Unfortunate mountain ruin here. A star ruin for Sunflower and Dream. And we already see some eco action going on. We don't see like really good sanctuary spots, so we just like upgrade the economy here. And Seniorevanso also doing the same, grabbing the lighthouse, upgrading the capital, and slowly working towards a sustained economy.
Pink Imo has gotten a whole lot of units ready there. Green has got to catch up on that. Oh, now we can see all the sanctuaries coming in. A lot of economy evolving. Pink has some nice spots with the sanctuaries in the middle there. Oh, and a good explorer from green Elyrion.
I'd like to actually hold on for a second and look at the map shape that we have to work with here. And this explorer was from the green Elyrion, as we just saw it. And this is actually a very unfortunate map shape for them. Although pink Elyrion does not have any water access here, if we look at this map shape, we see we have 3 lakes in total. 2 up in the northeast, which are like completely on their own. They can't really like train units back there, put them in the water and then get them up to the front. They can't. These lakes are separated by each other. And this entire map is divided by this water lake in the middle, where the green Elyrion is really gonna struggle to compete, I would say. However, they have the advantage that they can build a navy in this lake, and pink Elyrion really can't. They only have 1 single water tile of access here on this village. But this is gonna be very interesting for the later stage of this game, where we're gonna have a heavy naval advantage from one side, but a more like the city advantage and map advantage from the other.
I still can't come over the fact that fish now can spawn in deep ocean, not just shallow water. Still not gotten used to it. Anyway, both players have grabbed farming by now, right?
They both did, yeah. We see a lot of border growth action here already, trying to play into the late game. Potentially growing some forests to increase their sanctuary spots, to increase income, and also more poly towers.
And we can see that Green Elyrion now is the first one to actually enter the water. Understandably, as he's a lot closer, and Pink Elyrion probably has understood by now that these lakes back there won't really be any use.
That's
Nice
true, but
rune here.
they also don't really have any choice, because where are they gonna go? Right? They see they have this lake that's like dividing this entire map, and they don't really have any choice apart from actually getting into the water here. And we already contest the water.
And now Green Elyrion really starts going for those naval units. I mean, just look at it.
Yep.
And the first siege.
An interesting scout to reveal some fog. If we look at this position from Sunflower and Greenland, they didn't really see anything. And to get like a better overview of the map. Although it's only 4 HP that rush, they just want to see what's going on. Really important.
Exactly. Probably a sacrifice that made a lot of sense regarding all the space they can.
Yep. Although, if you go back to shared fog, although we have this situation here where Sunflower and Dreamland is putting a lot of pressure with these archers, we can't just send full like naval control right now. We also need to get some riders along the way, because without these riders, these archers with these warriors up front are gonna be really annoying to deal with. But because we have these riders, it's gonna be a lot more reasonable to defend this push.
I think I've never seen someone spam archers in a pro tournament before. Alright, now I think players are slowly getting to the more remote parts of the map. The southeast. By the way, what an awesome sanctuary spot right there, with the 4 polytars around. Unfortunately, they can't make it the sanctuary right now.
But this is going to be into the late game, so we are going to see a border growth, I would assume, on that city. So on the same as this city down here, but it's gonna be later down the line.
I think this is, in general, the most interesting phase of the game, because there's not enough units yet that you can count them quantitatively. Like, oh, there's 15 knights down here and 8 down here, so the 15 are going to win. Here, there's still a lot of tactical play and thought involved. Like this city wall here, for example. You'd never pick a city wall, but this city just has been so constantly over the last turns. Green Elyrion just needs that moment to breathe.
It's also not so much about breathing, I would say, but also if you look at the economy point of view, usually you spend like 6 or 7 stars to upgrade a city and then get 5 stars back to be really efficient at upgrading your economy. However, these players already make like 30 stars per turn by now, and the advantage of a city wall, especially in later stages of the game, where you just put the defender on it, and then, well, in this case we don't have giants, we have dragons and other units, but it's gonna be really annoying to deal with, and you know, it's gonna really slow down any attack from Pink Elyrion here onto that city, which is gonna be really strong later down the line. Also, we see we don't really have a whole lot of units here. If they do get sieged, they might struggle to unsiege, but in this case, sieging in the first place is gonna be really tough. And we already see the first eggs coming in. The first 2 eggs up here from Pink Elyrion were a bit delayed because of the border growth. However, they still got the eggs at the same time as Green Elyrion, because they had a very slow start with the navy that they had to build, and now they chose to not take a border growth in that city and just use the population growth to get that egg much faster. So on the same pace on these guys, but you know, a border growth on the other side.
I think the double border growth is quite the questionable decision. Because after all, this is going to make his position a whole lot more vulnerable to cloaks, especially as Elyrion can't really chop forest.
That is a very good observation. We'd like to dive into it again. You know, on Elyrion, you kind of want to grow forests in the late game, potentially to get more better sanctuary spots, to get down lumber huts to upgrade your cities to get more dragons.
Increase that economy, man.
Exactly, and you can't burn these forests to put them into farms, and you can't chop the forest to get rid of them. And that
Because
means
Elyrion
that...
are the forest lovers.
Exactly, they don't want to get rid of the forest. They're really a very green tribe, as we have a green color here. No, but what that means is if you hit a city with a cloak and you get 5 daggers from it, those daggers will first take the spots where they can have a defense bonus. And if you research archery, forest tiles will be defense bonus tiles, and all these daggers won't be easily changed with knights, because they will all have a defense bonus because of all these forests. We see a very strong naval push here on the right by Green Elyrion, trying to take this village on the east to assert some more map pressure, but we see a very nice bridge coming in. Otherwise, this play
I
wouldn't have
don't
been
get
possible.
that bridge, by the way. Why would they put a bridge there? They literally have roads next to it.
The reason they have to put this bridge here is because they don't have enough units to kill the scout and the poly tower in the village, and the scout has zone of control. With the zone of control, they can't road the units past the scout, they have to go around it, and there's water around it. However, they can place a bridge there to move around the scout to kill the poly tower, and then also tag the scout, but they couldn't, as I said, they couldn't kill both units. And the way that zone of control works is that if you move a unit into the area around another unit of the opponent, it will take up all the movement slots. So you can't move that rider another tile because you're already in the area of another unit. Therefore they place this bridge to go around.
I see.
Yeah, and we see a very interesting situation here where we have this very central lake pushing a lot of pressure, like putting a lot of map control for the Green Elyrion player. Although, from the point of view from the other Elyrion player, we have this very defensive lake, or lakes even, where you can put like a lot of naval units to defend but not attack in any way. And they can retreat, they don't really have a lot of space to retreat, unlike Green Elyrion does have. But we do have a lot more landmass to train units and go around and contest stuff for the Pink Elyrion player. We do harvest some starfish here and get the water growth in
That
this
is an
city.
awesome sanctuary. We have to take a moment to appreciate that level 5 sanctuary down there.
It is a lot of income. They are both actually on 32 stars per turn right now. They are on par with each other on the income when it comes to economy.
It's an incredibly interesting matchup here, especially as we see Green Elyrion actually having a lot less units and sacrifice for a lot of map control, if I see it correct.
Yeah.
I'm still wondering what those scouts are doing in the back lake there. They served the purpose multiple turns ago, but right now they're just really not.
They went down to harvest starfish, so yeah, now they can.
Nice veteran points. And the first siege of green. Of course, he won't be able to hold it, but the economy loss is surely going.
We are trying to siege here and trying to make the siege hold as well. We already have how the stack is called. The stack is called Aquatism from the green Elyrion, and we are trying to take the city from the pink Elyrion with like a lot of units to also zone the other side, like these riders and warrior up here, zoning the units to not be able to unsiege. However, we have more units from the east, also the defensive lake, and dragons being able to deal with the situation. Right now, we have a situation where both are on par with equal, but we do have a lot more dragons on the pink Elyrion. We've got 2 fire dragons already, another baby dragon and another egg. While the green Imperius has 1 egg and 1 fire dragon now. But that's it.
It's going to be a question of position, really.
So right now we have the situation where one Elyrion has the naval control and a dragon to defend themselves with, and the other has a lot of dragons to potentially contest this naval advantage from the other player. Another border growth, getting the sanctuary spot upgraded.
I also think this is one of those interesting types of map generation we didn't see before the last update, really. Another border growth from pink. Bold choice.
I think this choice was really reasonable, because effectively this village that nobody has claimed that nobody's going to claim that because of this lake that we can use defensively. But also, if you look at the situation, if Pink Imperius wants to contest this navy, they wanna have a position where they also can put water units into the water. Because I know this sounds like a bit unreasonable. That's a really devastating attack, putting a lot of pressure here. But if you look at the situation, we only had this 1 tile of water access here. And if we want to contest this navy, we need to be able to also put units onto the lake and not just assert pressure with dragons. Dragons are good, but if you can't assist the dragons, it's the same with giants, then you're not really gonna get far. And if you take border growth here, you can have 4 ports where you can chuck units into the water, and be it with defenders, polytowers, or just warriors, chuck them into the water, maybe get them into upgraded to rammers immediately, and therefore try and assert some pressure again to take this naval control off them. So that's where border growth is very reasonable. And yeah, these dragons are now very vulnerable being on the water. They both actually die. It is a very expensive trade here for them, because they do have to upgrade a lot of water units to do it, but they do kill both dragons, which at the end of the day, dragons are a limited resource, and once they're dead, they can't be recovered. There are only so many you can get.
Not really good for pink here. But still, they just have a whole lot amount of rider.
They lose their dragons, no worries, they'll get new ones. Don't worry about it. But as I said, they are still limited. Yeah, now we already see the defenders coming in to have stronger naval control, because defenders basically are units with more hit points, and although they don't have much attack, if you put them into the water and upgrade them into scouts or rammers or bombers, it doesn't matter that the defenders don't really have a lot of attack themselves, because now they are naval units. You just want those hit points. And what does defenders also give you? The tech that comes after defenders is diplomacy. So we'll have cloaks soon.
The sneaky, sneaky boys. Also, we can see some wild road spam on some parts of the map, like the left side or the bottom right one. Increasing that cost to 3 stars instead of 2 didn't change anything.
It's mostly just about the early economy, I would say. Like, once you make 50 stars per turn, placing 1 or 2 more roads down to move around your units is going to be necessary. You put a healing station with the Mindbender down here. No cloaks just yet as of right now, but we have the first bomber in this lake playing defensively. And if you look at this, this bomber cannot be reached in any way from this other lake. Even if you put scouts up here, the only way for Green Imperius to actually kill this bomber is by a night chain, maybe with daggers if they go really deep, maybe if you just like have a lot of control over the land, but they also have a lot of riders to defend themselves, so that's really not a play. And yeah, these bombers are really unreachable for Green Elyrion, as I always say Imperius, for Green Elyrion. And this bomber is gonna be really annoying to deal with later down the line, because it can't be killed really easily, and it's going to be a lot of splash damage dealing on maybe daggers that's coming in, on the sieges that are coming in. Yeah.
Both positions are really locking down here. I mean, green is just not gonna let go of that lake, whereas pink, as greatly demonstrated here, will not be able to lose that city. Just putting up massive defensive measures here in the lakes behind them. And this is an awesome use of bombers that I had never even seen before. Supporting the own lines from behind.
It's going to be really devastating. Bombers are an expensive unit, 15 stars to upgrade them. However, if they can't be killed and just continue bashing out damage, you're gonna get that stars, that income back that you spend on them. Also, what I would like to point out, we have the city up here, getting a sawmill and growing forests in the front line to get another egg. But more importantly, we now have a front line of forests and mountains that are rough terrain, and meaning that if the Green Elyrion was to get a knight, this knight would not be able to go past this mountain or forest chain, because it is rough terrain and enemy territory where they can't use roads. So this is going to be really annoying to deal with later down the line as well, because knight chains are much more difficult to get started.
Also, this game is just going on forever. I mean, we've already reached turn 30 and we're nowhere near the end. Now green has also started pumping out bombers.
We grow more forests, another egg, more dragons. Yeah, this is a position where both players don't really have anything going in their way to actually attack. Like, you have dragons, but if you put those dragons to use, like here, we also have the first cloaks coming in, by the way. This dragon is in a safe position here, but if it's like near the lake, it will just get shredded by all these water, like, naval units and just die. So whoever attacks engages first, it still gets tagged, right? It is vulnerable. So it's like really difficult to actually engage. And again, we attack and bomber is in range to actually retaliate here, so. If cloaks on both
Also,
sides.
quite interestingly, most of the combat is now taking place on the water. You can see there is very few land units around here. A few defenders here and there, and pink still has some riders. But all in all, the combat really has just gotten down to bombers, and dragon, defenders on water.
Correct. We do have the first knights also now. We had the cloaks, and now the knights are coming as well. We have these bombers in the back leg again that cannot be reached and just deal a lot of damage. Do some cleanup here. However, because this city only has so many forests, these daggers can all be chained. And if you look at the situation here, I was hoping for this cloak to also get chained. That is really unfortunate. Didn't manage to actually uncover the cloak so they couldn't chain it. The pink Elyrion right now is trying to engage here. But again, sure you do a lot of damage, but these dragons are now vulnerable to get killed, right? Because all these navy units can be upgraded and are in range. Same with this dragon.
Exactly, but I think this move here, it really hurt Green Elyrion. And I also think he didn't really have enough vision for that part of the map. So this might just have hit him out of the blue. Might have surprised him.
Oh, we also have a lot of damage going on here. This dragon might also get retaliated, but also not that the dragon has been killed. And this is some devastating attacks here, coming in.
One dragon already down, but the other one survives, I think. And all these units are still vulnerable. There's 2 more dragons with which...
We've got 4 bombers in this lake already, and all of them managed to get a shot through, dealing splash damage and causing a lot of troubles. The next dragon getting Night Chain. And finally, this city has been taken over by Pink Elyrion. Getting explored, getting the rest of the vision that's necessary as well with the lighthouse. And yeah, this village only really came through because we have sacrificed a dragon here, or now 2 dragons I would even say, to trade.
This village just not getting captured in the first 34 turns of the game, just insanity.
And now we also see the sanctuaries being turned into not so much economy stars per income, but just pumping out more units because you're trying to get this army set up, more units in the water, more units in the land. Because
by the way, we are still sitting completely equal on economy. Both players have 48 economy. Now 14. Oh well, never mind. I think there was just a display error. I'm 100% certain it just said 40. Never mind.
It very well could have, but you see how many sanctuaries are used to turn polytowers, to enchant polytowers. Taking away stars per turn. Because economy is great, but at the end of the day, whoever has the higher or stronger army wins, right? And we see now where
this is slowly getting really dangerous for Green Elyrion. I mean, their capital is siege. Of course, they siege, retaliate, and that would have been an absolutely beautiful night chain had they discovered the cloaks.
There's no way for Green Elyrion to actually uncover the cloaks.
These turns really just turn into cloak spam, knights, bombers, and repeat.
Again, 4 bombers shooting, all of them, and the knights being able to go deep again.
How are we sitting on the bomber kill count actually?
I was not paying attention, but these bombers in the northern lake have done big stonker's work against a lot of the daggers that are coming in on the city south of them. So I would assume at least 15-20 kills just on daggers alone maybe. Plus a lot of work on the rest.
Let's just have a guess at the end. I mean, the viewers will know. You guys know. We don't. We have to wait for it. But I'd say at the end we reach turn 39. I don't want to spoil how long it goes. But I think we'll probably end up at like 30 kills in total.
Potentially. Almost doing big work again. Same with the dragon. A lot of defensive unit placement that we have going on here.
I think this also really puts to show nicely how important this lake is. Had it only been land units, Green Elyrion would have been dead by now. But this insane lake spot there, which is just dominated by his bombers, really helps him unsiege his cities and push back the enemy.
How's the city count looking? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for green, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for pink. This city in the southeast actually tying the city count here for both players. However, if we look at the situation, pink Elyrion is able to train units in all of them, such as cloaks and knights, and green is more like this, restricted with what units they train, right? They have to train defenders up here on the east. They can't really train any knights in the water, because, you know, they can only go into the water. And same with the city wall up here, they can't really train anything useful there, because it would just get killed. So simply the amount of knights that Pink is able to train over green basically gives them the upper hand here slowly. Although we have like a really strong navy on both sides.
But again,
And now
this
we have to
position
design
is just too lost for pink to do anything. For green to do anything. And we have seen over the past turns that pink's knights have started swooping in back, even right to their capital, destroying the units they trained right there. And I think it was just this lack of perspective where it's actually progressing. Green just started only training defenders, not actively attacking, more defending, that made them resign here.
Exactly. It was a really nice game from both of them. They've shown how they can utilize the position they had in their favor. And they both did a great job. It's just, at the end of the day, you know, one of them has to come out on top. So, well played by both of them.
What did we learn today? In this game, we saw some extraordinary tactical plays by both players. We saw green in the first couple of turns delaying that village capture to ensure a better economy, and we saw pink planting forests to hinder green's unit progression across the map. We also saw some exceptional unit placement, especially from pink. Those bombers in the back legs were really extraordinary, and the dragon pushes from the flanks to avoid green's naval units were also very special.
And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. You should definitely join the next POLYBASH tournament and also the Polyseum tournaments that we host. And check out our social media, join our Discord server, it's all linked in the description. And take care, see you on the next one.